Hello and welcome to another episode of Mad Dialogue with me, Michelle.
And me, Skylar.
I hope everybody is doing really, really well. Yeah, I'm sorry. The sun is shining outside, right? But I still have to keep my dressing gown on because I've got a vest up on and shorts. But yeah, so don't watch the dressing gown. But also it takes us back to the weird fetishes a video where everybody knows that I love dressing gowns.
Yes, that was fetish.
So anyway, on with this week's episode. So I would say it was a couple of weeks ago, although I still see it circulating. There was basically a stepfather, I'm saying it like that now from the get-go, his stepdaughter was getting married and he was financing the wedding. He was holding it at his house. He essentially helped her mother raise her. So I guess from that, he felt some sort of entitlement. I'm not judging, like this is his own thing. So he believed that he was going to be the one to walk his stepdaughter down the aisle. But then when they sort of came together, her fiance's family and her family, she made it clear that she would like her father to walk her down the aisle, even though her father hadn't been present for a lot of her growing up then, basically. And so this was the stepfather airing his grievance about how he feels somewhat slighted, I guess, for the fact that he'd done all this, invested all of this into her as his stepdaughter. Essentially, I guess he's saying that he looked at her as his own. Mm-hmm. And so he felt some type of way that she had made this decision. So then she did a video responding to this. And basically, in a nutshell, what she was saying was, even though she totally respects her stepdad, and yes, he did essentially help to raise her, she made the point that he never married her mother, which by that she's saying he never adopted her. So she had issue with that. She acknowledged that her father was not present for a lot of her upbringing. And so, she wasn't taking anything away from the stepfather. She said that she was thankful for everything that he'd done for her and still held a lot of respect for him. But it was her day, her decision, and she wanted her father to walk her down the aisle. And so obviously people are going to have their split decisions on what they think is right and wrong. Me personally, I'm just going to say it from the get-go. If there's it could only be a problem if you're not willing to find a solution. And I just feel that both of them could have participated in walking her down the aisle. And so that they both get, to participate and they both get to, walk her down the aisle, basically. Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I think, first and foremost, the fact that the man has even, said anything, it shows, how much he obviously loves and cares about her. It's bothered him, what I mean? I think I'd feel bothered if I'd, raised a child that, so to speak, wasn't mine, like my own, and, paid for a lot of the wedding and helped with that just to be told, and I don't know, I understand why he would have assumed that he would have been as well. My thing is I just wonder what's going through her mind and why she wants her actual father to do it if this, man is basically raised her, helped her mum raise her and everything like that. And I don't really understand her thing of oh, he's never married the mum.
Yeah, I don't get that
or
either.
Whatever. So to
or adopt her.
Yeah. So what if he did that, then would you have then been oh, he could walk me down the aisle? What does it mean to you? Because if I don't know how to explain it, if the meaning was, I don't know, just the connection and the fact that it is actually her dad and whatever, then her talking about the stepdad not marrying the mum and adopting her, that doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't.
You know what I mean?
To me, that shouldn't be an issue as much as your father wasn't there to raise you.
Yeah, but...
or participate in your upbringing. Do you know what I mean?
But at the same time, it is her choice, you know what I mean? But then again, one thing I wonder is, okay, well, how much money has the actual dad put into the wedding?
From what was said, he hasn't contributed anything.
So that's one thing that does make me laugh, though, is you could be okay, yeah, this is my wedding and, it's my choice. But if your stepfather has actually been the one that has contributed a lot to your wedding day, then when you think about it in a roundabout way, it wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for him. You know what I mean? So I just think that is a bit wrong, that you could even do a thing where you're like, oh, like you walk me for the first few steps and then he walks me and then hands me off to the, like something, both of you either side.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The way how I would probably do it is, because she wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the biological father. So I'd let him do like the first quarter, and then allow the stepfather to do the rest. I think as well, because he's financing it and it's been held in his home.
Yeah, that's home. Like it's his
I think
home.
that, you know what I mean. And also there was another point as well. He requested that X amount of people be invited, and he apparently was saying that he wasn't asking for a lot of people to be invited, and he was told no. So it's almost like, I think how he was looking at it is that, okay, it's good enough I'm good enough for you to use my house and to take my money, but I'm not good enough to walk you
down the aisle or even invite people who he wants to invite. Because from what I'm gauging from this, like, this man looks at this girl like that's his daughter, you know what I mean?
The fact that he wants to invite people.
Yeah, so I just think, I don't know, like I don't know these people's relationships and stuff, but from she's saying she's thankful and everything like that, like the man hasn't done her any wrong in her life, as far as I'm concerned. And I just,
it's like
for
she's
me,
putting this father, the biological father, on some sort of pedestal that he really doesn't deserve to be on.
And I think more maybe for her want to be validated by her actual biological father, instead of realizing, hey, like there's this man who isn't even my biological dad who actually wants to love and care for me. Like, I don't know, like I just do think that's a bit like, I don't want to say it's wrong, but I personally wouldn't be moving like that, especially the fact that it's in the man's house. The man's paid for it. He's raised you. All of this. And you won't even let him invite people. You won't even... Like, there's just so many things where I just think, yeah, like, personally...
You're taking advantage of the man's seemingly good nature.
Yeah, because it really does just give the energy that she's interested in what he can do for her. But other than that, it's like she doesn't want anything else. And I just don't understand. Like, you can't take from people, because my thing is now as well, if he just decided, hey, wedding's called off, he could, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, not even so much called off, but like,
you're not doing it online.
Yeah, and I'm not putting any more money in. But that would technically
call it off in this sense. She'd have to find a whole new venue. She'd have to figure out how to get,
Yeah, I suppose when you're looking at it, the long and short of it, it does come across a little bit ungrateful and disrespectful.
Yeah, because there's no way I would, like, not in a bad way, but as I said, like, I don't know all the ins and outs of this girl's life and her relationships with the people in her family, but I just think there's no way I could let somebody who's, taken in this father figure role put all of this effort into my wedding, put all of this effort into, like, just my life in general, and then say, hey, you're not walking me down the aisle. Like, I do feel like that's a very big thing, and I just feel like...
And I think as well, it probably goes deeper for him as the stepfather, because there's probably times where things may have been hard, but still he stayed and did the right thing, and not even the biological father. So there's probably been situations that she's not even aware of, that the man has probably cried blood, sweat and tears.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To keep roof over their head or food in their stomach. You just don't know, do you? And so therefore, it's probably that kind of thing that makes it more deep rooted for him. Do you know what I mean?
No, definitely though, definitely. And yeah, like...
I just realised the bedroom light isn't on, so this is probably going to look really dim now. Oh well.
I don't think so. We got the sunlight shining in the ring light, so.
And we have sunshine now ourselves. No, I'm joking. So if it was you then, yeah, let's just say you was raised predominantly by a stepfather. I know this is hard to, you know what I mean, because the situation as it is, your dad is around, but your dad wasn't, and then your stepfather's paying for it and his thing. Would you still ask your real father to walk you down the aisle, or just have it your stepfather?
I think I'd split it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I'd do that thing where you walk me like to this point and then you take over and then walk me to my husband. You know what I mean? Because I just think, like, I get the thing of, if it's your, like, biological dad and you want a relationship and like, you're not going to want to do something and then say, oh, like, no, you're not walking me down the aisle if you're worried that will affect your relationship that you're trying to have now. So personally, I'd still say, yeah, you can, but also you have to respect that this man has been in my life and definitely done things to me for me that you haven't, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's a win-win for everyone, you know what I mean? And I just think like there's enough time to walk down an aisle to have multiple people walk you, you know what I mean?
His male pride may have felt some type of way, because then at the same time, then he's supposed to have this man in his home, you know what I mean, lording it over it, like, because he's been given a prime role then, so to speak. And so then
while he just sits there.
Like, do you know what I mean? So I kind of get it from, I do. Obviously, me being me, I get it from both sides.
Naturally.
But I'm kind of siding with the stepdad a bit more
same,
on this
because
one.
I just think like like there's so many things, like if I don't know if this was like a situation where it was just a stepdad complaining in general because he wasn't doing it and he hadn't put any money in and it wasn't at his house and he hadn't raised the gun and he was just like, then I'd be like, fuck off. But because of everything that goes into it, I do feel like, not that he has a right to, like, as I said, like, it's still her wedding, but I just do think it's a bit weird that she wouldn't even allow him to have something. And then, I just think that's wrong. And then to be defending it, I don't get that. And with stuff that don't even hold water, such as he never married my mum, like,
and
that doesn't have anything.
Adopted me.
That doesn't have
anything. You had
to
food
do.
in your belly, didn't you, and a roof over your head? I think that counts for something.
I don't know. But that's just me personally. I think that's odd.
Yeah, I do too. Unless there's something that she's not saying. And in that case, then you should just say, and then make everybody understand it a little bit better.
My thing is, though, is the fact that this must be going on, like, obviously in their actual lives, but then on the same breath, you have time to be also make a TikTok about one another and talking about it is insane.
Instead of talking to each other.
Yeah, like, it's insane to me. Like, obviously, we have something to talk about now, so hey.
Yeah.
But as like overall, like, this is.
I'll be honest, I don't even like being up in people's business that much, you know what I mean? But if you're gonna put it over on social media, I guess, I'm gonna have to put in my penny's worth.
You put it there.
So I think we'll leave it here for this week. As always, thank you so much for joining us. We really, really do appreciate you. As always, we're sending an abundance of love and light. It's goodbye from me, Michelle, and goodbye from Skylar.
Bye.
Bye.